The BC and federal governments are now looking at the possibility of creating a new national park in this province. The idea would be to protect the desert, grasslands and ponderosa pine ecosystems of the South Okanagan and Similkameen valleys. It's a region that has more species at risk than anywhere else in BC. In fact, it's said that a national park here would encompass a greater diversity of ecosystems than any other national park in Canada. Linda AYLESWORTH has more.
The South Okanagan Similkameen is both harsh and spectacular. The region is hot and dry, experiencing less than 10 inches of rain each year. And yet, the plants and animals that live here are abundant and diverse.
It's one of the most beautiful places on earth, with the rolling grasslands, the forests, the hills, the lakes.
Dick Cannings, a biologist and author who was born and raised here, has become an authority on this desert-like ecosystem.
This isn't old-growth forest. This isn't cathedral-like groves of huge cedars and hemlocks. Some of the beauty you really have to get down on your hands and knees to appreciate.
But look up, and you'll see herds of agile Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep negotiating the cliffs, and as many as 210 species of birds, more than anywhere else in North America, the result of many habitats in this one region.
You go from these dry grasslands right up to the alpine meadows at the tops of the mountains. You have marshes in the valley bottoms, and so it's a combination of things, but people come from all over the continent to see this.
But it's the influx of people and the resulting changes to the land that has many concerned.
This is one of the most endangered ecosystems in Canada, and development is happening really, really rapidly. You see vineyards springing up all over the place and suburbs happening, and we're very, very worried.
Worried because a third of BC's endangered species live here, animals that have disappeared in most other places due to habitat loss. In 2003, the federal government acknowledged the concern and launched a study into the feasibility of establishing a national park.
The problem is that the federal government and the provincial government signed an agreement in 2003 that they would look and see whether a park was feasible here, and that was supposed to take 2 years. Now it's 7 years later.
The time window for us to act is rapidly closing. The development is happening very quickly.
Frustrated by the delay, members of a local organization, the South Okanagan Similkameen National Park Network, hit the streets with a petition asking those in favor of the proposed park to sign.
We got 20,000 signatures, of which 9,000 were local from this area here. We had a stack, it's about this high, and we took it to Ottawa, and the local MP presented it to the House. And
what happened?
Oh, well, so far nothing has happened.
In another attempt to get the government's attention, the Wilderness Committee recently commissioned a poll.
And what we were really thrilled to find out is that the poll showed that 63% of people living in the South Okanagan Similkameen supported a national park, and just 26% were opposed.
Opposed, perhaps, because all-terrain vehicles are not allowed in national parks. Neither is hunting. And yet, the majority of locals in favor of the park, people like Harry Nielsen, who spends his days on his horse Flame, wandering through the hills and stunning ponderosa pine forests, are wondering what's taking so long.
I keep thinking, if we don't make this into a park and protect it, we've lost it forever. I think we owe something to this earth to look after it.